or I will randomly call on people.
I think Seth and Scott, I think the theme for us was, we don't have something in place that's sophisticated enough. A theme that came out of ours is people still buy from people, right? And you've got to segregate yourself from just somebody who sold a product to why would we buy from you again? And that's, showing those people skills. And like I told these guys, I still reach out to people personally just because of the type of business I'm in. And I got it literally this week. A lady only bought $97 from me, but I called her up and I said, "Hey, is there any way I can help?" And she's like, "Wow, an actual call," So now, can I do that every single time? No, as I grow and all that. But the reality is something has to be in place that is sophisticated, but simple. And they don't feel like you're annoying them. You really do care about their opinion.
Absolutely. I love that. I agree 100%. I will show you an example of, so you can, we have, you know what, actually, let me see where I'm going to pull up another campaign to show you what you can add. So for example, since Scott, you brought it up, I'm using Scott. Scott, you volunteered to be thrown under the bus. Well, not thrown under the bus. So this
just go ahead and throw. I'm good.
This is one of our campaigns for Scott. And you will notice not only do they get an email automatically when they opt in to get the ebook, they also get a text message and a voice broadcast. A voice broadcast is your phone says missed call voicemail. I'm like, I didn't even hear it ring. And there's a voicemail in your voicemail. So every time we send out an email every day when we send out an email on Scott's behalf, also goes out a text message, also goes out a phone call. I had Scott record them on the voice memo app on his phone. And then, so it literally, they're like, wow, this guy texted me, he called me, etc. So we're automating that process so they feel like Scott called them. They hear his voice, but he's not making 100 phone calls a day. We also have, Scott doesn't know this part, but there is an app that we use for this called Fix Your Funnel. You won't be able to see my screen on my phone, but literally every time they reply, it shows up on the app on my phone when they text back, when they reply to the text message. And I sit here and not all day, I reply as Scott to all of those messages so that they think they're having a conversation. And they are. Wow. They're just doing it with me, not Scott. So
Seth, you're not going to send me a separate bill for that, are you?
No.
Good.
We threw that in, no charge. Now, when the email blast finally hits, if we now all of a sudden have 500 or 700 people messaging all day, I may have to get the app installed on your phone and teach you how to do it.
Right. Which I'm fine with. I'm all over it.
But, the first 100 people, they're not all messaging every day, so I'm happy to do it. All right. So anything else that came up in terms of ideas, anything else that popped up before we go into the next section? All right. Well, Scott, thank you for volunteering. Now, you bring up, all of you bring up excellent points. Well, Scott brought up an excellent point, and I dropped into a breakout group with Emma and Roy, and up came another point, which segues into how do we create a referral culture, right? Because what I heard from some of the chat messages I got from some of you who chatted to me during the breakout were, we don't have anything. We don't have any automated feedback system, and we certainly we aren't doing anything proactively to drive referrals. They're just coming in, right? Roy mentioned, a couple other people mentioned the phone. Steve mentioned the phone just rings and someone says, hey, I know somebody, or hey, I was introduced to you. It isn't predictable. It isn't scalable. If your daughter needed life-saving surgery that wasn't covered by insurance and she had 3 days to get it, you can't push a button at the moment and suddenly get 72 referrals to pay for it. But I'm going to show you how to do that. So let us dive right in. So these are the steps to create a referral culture. And you're going to want to, yes, we're recording this, and you're going to want to write this down. Lawrence says, how much does that service cost? Larry, we'll have a separate conversation about that. We weren't charging Scott for me handling his automated text message conversations until it gets to be so many that I don't have time to do it anymore. And the other cool thing about the app is you can round robin, like if you had different salespeople in your company, you can it can round robin assign leads to each salesperson, and then they have the conversation in the app. And you can see all of the conversations. If you're like the administrator of it, you can see them talk to everybody. But anyway, separate conversation. So steps to create a proven referral culture generation system. Number one, you have to survey your customers. And I'm going to show you how to survey them and why to survey them in just a minute. But we need to find out more information about them than you already know. So if you're Roy, if you're Steve, if you're a financial advisor, you might know, I know their name, I know their birthday, I know when they retired, I know how much money they've got, I know their wife, I know their house, and I might know kids. And I know their attitude about money. I know they're aggressive or conservative. You know a limited amount of demographics in order to do your job. Courtney might know the size of the chiropractic practice and how many visits a week they do and what their PVA is and all that good stuff. I'm going to show you why you need to find out a whole lot more information that's not related to what you're doing and why. Number two, you need to bribe them to do the survey. It's an ethical bribe. You're not sending them a check. Although you could try using money. Then we're going to show you how to turn that into a culture creation by using direct mail, not email. We're going to show you the postcards we send, the gifts we send, the events that we produce, the follow-up system that we do, how we celebrate our clients' birthdays to generate a regular wave of predictable referrals. So number one, we have to survey them. This is an example of, the top sheet of one of the surveys that we built. When we do surveys, we do them in direct mail. We tried doing like SurveyMonkey in a couple other automated software programs. The problem is nobody filled it out. When we sent email and drove them to a website form, we got nothing. We tried it a number of different ways. We have found if we send a direct mail survey, we get a really high percentage of them back. So what are some of the data points I might want to know? I want to know what their lifestyle is. So for example, I want to know what their hobbies are. Are they into golf? Are they into wine tasting? Are they into hiking, gardening, boating, travel? What authors do they read? What magazines do they get? What sports teams do they follow? I want to do a deep dive on their psychographics. As a financial advisor, we got to know the demographics. I want to know their psychographics. And I'm going to show you how we're going to use that data as a gold mine in just a minute. In our financial services firm, we bribe them to complete the survey by sending them this little emergency kit in advance. It's literally in the same envelope as the survey. We also give away, everyone who completes the survey is entered to win a $100 gift card, at Carrabba's or whatever restaurant we pick. So they're entered to win a gift card at a restaurant, and they get this little emergency kit, which in financial services, they fill out all this information about where is every bank account, who's their lawyer, who's their accountant, who's their insurance agent. We want to know where their mortgage is. They literally fill everything out in one place so that, God forbid, if there's ever an emergency, they have to go to the hospital, they need a power of attorney, whatever it is, they don't need to go running all over the house trying to find everything. They just grab this, which is like it's like a 5 or 6 page glossy, like a brochure. It's 8.5 by 11. They literally put it on a magnet, stick it to their fridge, or they put it in a drawer in the kitchen, and they know, God forbid something happens, I grab this out of the drawer before we go to the hospital. And people, I have, thankfully, in 22 years, I've only had 2 or 3 people actually have to use it. But those people are like, oh my God, that was a lifesaver. And it's a PDF, and it costs like next to nothing. Then this is a very grainy picture of the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino. in Las Vegas, which was the tallest casino in Vegas for a very long time. And Bob Stupak did something absolutely brilliant when he built this. He built it one floor at a time because he couldn't get a construction loan back then for the hundreds of millions of dollars he needed to build the whole thing. So he got you in the door with an offer of Vegas vacation for $200, $300. You got the hotel, you got tickets to the shows, you got a couple $100 in chips to gamble with, you got your meals taken care of. It was an irresistible offer. But the catch was you had to pay now and you couldn't come for 6 months because he used the money to build the next floor of the casino so you had a room to stay in. And then when you got there, one of the most brilliant marketing strategy he did was he gave each couple that came in, hey, here's 4 or 5 postcards to send home to your friends saying, wish you were here. Just fill them out and drop them in the mailbox and we'll mail them for you. Well, the mailbox was actually not a U.S. Post Office mailbox. It was a mailbox in the hotel created to look like a U.S. mailbox by Bob. And when everybody dropped their postcards in, the people who worked for Bob took them out of the mailbox and typed that person, all the contact information into their database. And then they mailed the postcard. And then like a week later, they mailed them the irresistible vacation offer. So it was Bob Stupak's way of getting every customer to fill out 3, 4, 5, in essence, referral cards and grow their database. So you're going to send it. What we do is we send a postcard once a month. That postcard is warm and fuzzy until it's a hard promotion. And I'll tell you when to do that and what it means in just a minute. But what my freshman year of college, my undergraduate roommate and I did not get along. He had a poster on his wall called 365 Reasons to Drink. At the age of 18, I did not consume any alcohol. And I was there to get an awesome education. He almost flunked out, was on probation, almost got kicked out, accidentally set fire to our dorm room. Like he was there to party and almost got kicked out of the school. And I thought that poster was stupid until I became a direct response marketer and I realized it was marketing gold. And I went back on eBay and I got it because those 365 reasons to drink were random holidays that you don't know exist. So for example, there's National Chocolate Pie Day. There's National Apple Pie Day. There's National Blueberry Month. There is National Campbell's Soup Day. Like literally there are hundreds and hundreds of companies or causes who have paid the money to the government to have a day. Those are all reasons to market to people. Not 365 times a year, but we do once a month. We send a warm and fuzzy postcard. So in this case, March is National Optimism Month. It is real. And it says, I'm optimistic about a relationship with you. I hope you're thinking warm and fuzzy thoughts about us. That's a warm and fuzzy. And then the other time of the month, we send a gift. So week number 2, they get a card. Week number 4, they get a gift. Week number 6, they get a card. Week number 8, they get a gift. The gift might be a journal. It might be a box of chocolates. It might be one of our branded bags of mangoes. You see, it's got our logo on it. I am addicted to these things. It might be a wristband with an inspiring slogan on it. It doesn't have, it's designed to not be expensive so that they feel warm and fuzzy, but not obligated. But we're creating the obligation anyway. So we found the perfect ratio is 2 to 1. 2 months of warm fuzzy to 1 month of promotion. So January warm, I'm making this up, but let's say you start this in September. Well, September's back to school. There's a good warm fuzzy campaign. So let's say September would be warm and fuzzy. October would be warm and fuzzy. Happy Halloween. November would be promotion where you ask for referrals. So November's Thanksgiving, right? Biggest holiday, November's Thanksgiving. So we would send a Thanksgiving card early. And we would say, we're thankful about our relationship with you. Who do you know who's not thankful about their financial advisor? Who do you know who's not thankful for their marketing firm? It's funny, we had a client fly into town and stay with us Monday and Tuesday in the office all day, every day, and get a lot of work done. And we find out when I took them out to dinner Monday night, I found out that they have 2 other marketing firms. One of them, they are paying $10,000 a month to. The other, they are paying $6,000 a month to. And I said, and they are not happy with either of them. And I said, well, what are they supposed to, what results have you gotten? They said, none. I said, how long you been doing this? Spending 16 grand a month, 6 months. I said, oh my God, what are they supposed to be doing for you? We're not entirely sure. Can you track it? No. I said, okay, can you get me those contracts? Let's see if we can find out what they're supposed to be doing for you. See if they're actually doing it. Get you out of those contracts early, because we will do all of those services at less than, half the cost. So they're not thankful for their marketing, their other marketing firms. So if you drip twice a month, warm fuzzy for month 1, warm fuzzy for month 2, and then do a soft promotion for referrals, like who do you know who's not thankful, you will find that people will call in or mail in with referrals like crazy in the month that you ask. We also host live events where the cost to get admitted is you have to bring a friend. But we don't do these like most companies do them. So if you're in financial services, most referral or client appreciation events are boring. Come eat our rubber chicken, hear a PowerPoint presentation. We use the survey data. So I will go take all the survey data. It goes into an Excel spreadsheet if you're low tech, or a CRM like Infusionsoft if you're high tech. And I will say, you know what? Give me a list of every client who plays golf. Now, let's go book a golf club, not for a big tournament, but let's take 8 clients. We book the club, we book the country club pro, we all get a lesson, then we all play 18 rounds, and we all get lunch or dinner. Now, the cost of admission is you have to bring a member of your foursome. Birds of a feather flock together. Who do you play golf with? You're going to play golf with someone who's like you. So now I got 8 clients and they're 8 referrals. That's 16 people, 4 golf carts. You think we drive around, play 18 holes, get a golf lesson, and then have lunch? We close about 80%. It doesn't have to be golf. We've done wine tastings. We've done art, like where you go paint. We haven't, I got into that. I got that idea from my wife because she would do wine and paint nights for her PTA fundraisers. And I would say, I bet you we got people who are into wine and who would do that. So if I use the survey data and I only invite the people who care about wine tasting to a wine tasting, number 1, they will come because they care. And 2, you want hobbies or lifestyle selects that you share with others. My joke in the wine invitation is bring someone you drink wine with, because if you drink by yourself, you got a problem. So golf, you play with other people. Wine tasting, you would go to a wine tasting with other people. I am trying to find things that people do with others, so it's an easy referral. They just say, hey, come to a wine tasting my financial advisor's having. Don't worry, there's no sales pitch. And they come to the wine tasting, and by the end of the event, they're going, my advisor doesn't do anything like this. I haven't heard from them in 6 months. I got to talk to you. They're not switching because the investment performance is bad. 86% of clients who leave one financial advisor for another investment performance is the number 14th reason why they leave. Number 1 is lack of contact and communication. That applies to almost every industry, not just financial services. If you do a drip system like this, your clients will stay forever. Hence the follow-up.
Be up to an hour later.
Oh, I'm getting some background noise. Scott, I'm going to mute you. And then what we do for birthdays, we do 2 different promotions for birthdays. Depends on what level the client is. So if you are, let's say, a B, C, or D client, and we did a survey, let's say Mrs. Jones's birthday is coming. Well, I look at my survey and I see she likes John Travolta, red wine, and dark chocolate. I send her a gift basket of a bottle of red wine, a bunch of dark chocolate, a John Travolta DVD, and a whole bunch of movie tickets. I will send her 6 or 8 movie tickets. And number 1, she will go, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. This is so nice. And then she will have friends over to go to the movies. But before they go to the movies, they're going to drink some red wine and eat some dark chocolate. And they're all going to go, this is the cutest gift basket ever. Where did you get it? And why are we going to the movies? And why are you paying? And they're going, my financial advisor sent it to me. And they will go, man, I didn't get anything for my birthday from my advisor. Or they will say, man, all I got was a corporate gift card with the company logo on it. I'm in. Now, if they are an A+ level client, Steve Brady says, oh, hang on, there were a whole bunch of chats. I will email the campaign I need to create, the cost level campaign. Okay, yeah, Lawrence, if you email me, I'm happy to answer the question. Courtney says, reason number 1, the day ends in Y. Oh, reason number 1 to drink. Haha, very funny. Steve Brady says compliance issue. What's the Steve, what do you mean by compliance issue? And you can unmute yourself, by the way.
Is there a compliance issue on the dollar amount of gifts that you can send out?
Yes. So there's no issue for the cards. What if you're FINRA regulated, the FINRA rule, as I know it, is $100 per person per year. So the gifts that we send are really small, like the bag of mangoes is like $3. Like we send stuff that's really small, so that if Girl Scout cookies are $4, $5, like we add it up so that it's under $100.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So we can get away with it. Now, obviously, that gift basket is probably more than $100. So what we may do is we may stack that these gifts all have the husband's name on them. There's my $100, but I can spend $100 on the wife's gift basket. So that, and then number 2, what we get around the $100 gift rule for the second thing we do for their birthday for our A+ level clients. I will call Mrs. Jones a month ahead of time. And I will say, Mr. Jones has a birthday next month. You guys can be in town, or are you traveling? We're going to be here. Great. Do you have plans on your birthday? No, we're going out the night before. Awesome. What's Mr. Smith's favorite restaurant? Buffalo Chop House, which is mine. Awesome. You guys are like family. You've been here forever. I want to do something to thank you. Let's go out to dinner. You don't have to do that. No. Let's go out to dinner. And you know what? Let's make it fun. Let's make it like a party. Let's bring a couple friends. Okay. Does Mr. Smith like surprise parties or hate them? Because you got to find out. Because I did one without asking, and the guy hated surprise parties and was pissed instead of being happy. So he doesn't like surprise parties. Okay, we'll tell him. Let me just find out if the Chop House even has a table for, let's say, 8 people. And you know what? Why don't you think about the 2 other couples you'd want to invite? You really don't have to do this. I know. Let me just see if they got a table. You think about it. They might not even have a table. Well, don't worry about it. Just think about it. I call back the next day. Of course, they got a table. And then it's, who do you want me to send the invitations to? And then we all go out to dinner. There's no sales pitch. There's no PowerPoint. It's just, hey, thanks all for coming to celebrate Mr. Jones. And then they get follow-up campaigns going, hey, thanks so much for coming to celebrate Mr. Jones. If you want to know why they're so happy with us other than the birthday party, give me a call. And then they go on our monthly newsletter list and they go on our drip list. 90% of the people I have ever had to a birthday party, we have closed the business. When my wife and I were dating and first married, I threw a birthday party at least twice a week. She got to the point when she got pregnant with Matt, or with our son Max, when she was a couple months pregnant and started to get exhausted, she's like, I'm not going. I'm like, you're my secret weapon. You're more engaging than me. Everybody wants to meet you. Like, oh, Seth got married. They're having this is so exciting. I'm like, you're more charming than I am. You're nicer than I am. And she's like, I don't care. I'm exhausted. I'm pregnant. I'm not going out 2 or 3 times a week. I'm coming home from work and I'm going to pass out on the couch. So I ended up doing them myself. But it works because they're a professional, they're a chiropractor, they're a marketing firm, isn't doing anything like that. Like when our clients were here Monday and Tuesday, I picked them up at the hotel. I brought them to the office. I took them back. We took them to lunch. We took them to dinner. We got them, Bruce took them on a driving tour of downtown Buffalo and Niagara Falls because they had never been to Buffalo before. We got pictures and they sent us thank you notes already going, oh my God, I can't believe you did all that. Like they're blown away. They're like, we don't even hear from the other companies that we're paying all this money to. So if you survey your clients to find out what they care about, if you drip on them warm and fuzzy twice a month for 2 months in a row, you earn the right to then send a soft promotion, which is, hey, who do you know? Use the theme. Who do you know who's not thankful? Who do you know who's not optimistic? It's National Optimism Month, blah, blah, blah. Blueberries are like portfolio antioxidants. Who do you know who needs some portfolio antioxidants is always complaining about the market? You got to be a little creative with the theming, but every 90 days, you will have a large number of referrals that come in without you having to call anybody, without you having to ask anybody, without you having to sit across from them and going, pull out your phone and tell me who you can connect me to. Questions, comments, thoughts?
I have
Yes.
a quick question.
Yes. Joe. Joe, I can't hear you. You muted yourself or something. No, now you're muted. Try again. Okay, say something, Joe.
I have a company that makes these live edges right here, and I could make excellent gifts for you.
Awesome. What is that? I can't even see it. I'm sorry.
This is a friend of mine that died in the line of duty, and I made this for his family, his Medal of Honor, his end of watch, and the sheriff's department. And then I put that image. You could put digital, you could put like domination marketing, your customer name. I put a clear coat on here. I put felt on the back of it. This sells on my Etsy shop for $75. I would make them for half price for you if
Oh
you
my
want
God.
some custom live edge for people.
That is awesome. Sign me. Yeah, send me a link.
I'll send you a link to my business.
Yeah, I did not know you had an Etsy shop and I did not know you made those.
I make the highest end stuff on Etsy. It's the highest resolution. I got the best laser cutter money can buy.
Wow. Okay, let's have, maybe you should be making some of our promo products.
Yeah, one of the things that I did, Seth, when I lived in Puerto Rico is I would send my clients and my prospects coffee from Puerto Rico, and they love that stuff.
Yeah, when we do send our welcome to the Market Domination Family box
Yep.
for our higher end clients, it includes, it's got buffalo sponge candy because that's
Yep.
a buffalo thing. It's got Anchor Bar wing sauce in it because wings are a buffalo thing. So we send a number of buffalo food items in the box.
Yeah, I used to send for my welcome. I used to send a packet of coffee, 2 coffee mugs from Puerto Rico. I'd pick up a Walgreens for like $3 a piece, and then some Puerto Rico candy. The other thing that I do too is, and I got this. I was just looking at this the other day when you had your very first mastermind, probably 10 years ago, where one of our assignments was to build a shock and awe box and stuff like that. I'm going to go back to doing this. I used to give away a Svengali deck.
Magic trick. Oh, so that so you will appreciate this being a magician as well.
So let me tell you why I give a Svengali deck. So my company is called Presto Marketing Group, and my tagline is "It's not the wand, it's the magician." And how I came up with that is it was like 1998. Daryl,
I remember the late great Daryl.
no, not the late great Daryl. It was the Daryl that was like the master of like card magic. Like he could do deal from the center of the deck with one hand. Amazing.
Okay.
I saw him at a lecture, and the stuff was just like amazing. It was like, yeah, I could do that if I spent like the next 20 years of my life practicing 5 hours a day. And
Right.
so he finishes the lecture and he says, "You guys want to learn one more tricks? Like, want to see one more tricks? Like, why wouldn't we?" He does a very cool trick. He had somebody pick a card, cut the cards, turns over the card, look at it, cut the cards. 3 people cut the cards. He deals from the top of the deck. It's the guy's card. Does it like 3 times in a row. And he says, "You guys want to learn how you do that?" It's like, yeah, why wouldn't we? It's not like we're going to be able to do it. It was a trick deck of cards. It was a Svengali deck. And that's where I came up with, it's not the wand, it's the magician, because in the hands of a master, we were all blown away.
Yep.
But if you're an 8-year-old kid with this trick deck of cards, like, oh, that's cute. That's a cute trick. And it comes down to this, Seth, how many people do Facebook ads? Everybody. How many do Facebook ads as well as you do?
Very few.
same tools, but it's all in the execution. So that's how I came up with it's not the wand, it's the magician. And I tell that story and give them a trick deck of cards and some other fun stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. You will appreciate this. And forgive the magic trivia for those of you who aren't into magic. But I also send Jay Sankey's lock deck, which it's not a trick deck of cards. I send you the deck and it's in an envelope and it says, don't open this until we do a call. And then on the call, again, remember, let's say I mailed this to Joe. Joe's in a different state. We're not on Zoom. I can't see Joe. Joe is on the phone and I tell Joe, okay, pick a card. And then I tell Joe what the card is and he's blown away because he's like, I'm in another state, in another room. You can't see me. There's no freaking way you could know, you could know what card I picked. So yeah, love it. Yeah. Other comments or questions on creating a referral culture? They also want to know about you. People buy you. So even if your name is Presto Marketing and somebody else is doing the work, an employee is doing the work, Market Domination isn't named Seth Green, and I only touch a handful of our clients. There are a lot more that get served without me, but they bought from me as the face of the company. And, it's funny. I had a client in the office yesterday and she said, can you update the picture of your kids on your monthly magazine? She's like, it's been the same picture. I would like to see a new picture every month. I'm like, I totally forgot to change the picture. I don't always get a family picture every single month, although my wife does take a lot of pictures. I will go change it right away, which I did. And I'm going to go create a quick postcard with the picture of my wife and kids on it and send it out to her. All right. Any other referral culture questions?